officially behind, like really officially, it's not a feature. Me and him are collaborators. Like I'm not a feature on that thing. Yeah, it is a true story. But a lot of people that I interacted with in the music, they always said to me, you're lucky you have this moment, write it out. I'm gonna tell you things that I've never told anyone.
So oftentimes we don't show ourselves as radio personalities as being fans of the people we interview. But then once in a while, you just can't hide it. But today, I have the pleasure, I have the honor, I have the privilege of interviewing Usamgelo Leletu Mtolomba, otherwise known as Samthing Soweto. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here with us.
No, Nyapila, and thank you for having me here.
I was just thinking that maybe this might be the busiest time of your life, perhaps, and you replied by saying?
I hope so. I mean, I'm hoping it is. It hasn't kicked in yet.
It hasn't?
No, not yet.
I've had a listen to Ispicipiti. Congratulations. Great album.
Thank you so
great
much.
album.
Thank you so much.
You know when you listen to an album and you move from track to track till the end and you just get that feeling. By that sense, my prophetic nature will want to say, I think this is going to be a big 12 to 18 months for you. So tell us about it, man. Ispicipiti. It seems to me as though you took your time with it.
Yeah. Funny enough, this album, Ispicipiti, was started this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Jan.
So if it starts in Jan and you're releasing
in September,
in September, that's a short time for you?
Yeah, it is. I've recorded songs longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, I've taken longer time to record one song.
How long?
Maybe like a year.
A song?
Past a year, maybe 15 months, yeah.
So
one song.
You come back and you change or
you make different
some
versions and versions.
So I'd imagine then that you work very closely with the producer, the technical producer, if it's not going to be yourself.
Yeah, I work very closely. But for most of my career, I actually recorded myself.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I learned a thing or two about recording. And then now I have the ability or the confidence to work with other people.
The ability and confidence?
Yeah, because before I didn't.
All right.
I would never let anyone touch my vocals.
So who did you work with and what kind of patience level did they have to have in working with you not entirely having to just trust their giftings and talents because you have to keep on interrupting?
Well, I mean, there's a young producer / engineer at Black Boy, that's Pori's stable, called Mass.
All right.
Mass, he calls himself Mass Music. Mass is young, super young, maybe 21.
Whoa.
So because he's this young, I think I kind of understood that I had to be very patient.
Okay.
But he was also very patient because he wanted to learn. So when I got to Black Boy to try and record my album, that would be produced by DJ Maporisa. What I then understood about that process is that it wasn't my process anymore. It was a collective or a process that DJ Maporisa would be heading. I wouldn't head my own process.
So certainly a frequency of growth for you. To say it's a
desperation.
Collective.
I don't know if it's growth.
Desperation?
It's desperation.
For what?
Desperation.
Desperate for what?
I needed to succeed.
Okay.
My life required it.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed an album. I needed to finish an album. I needed to succeed. I recently started a family.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Wow. What does the starting a family, not married, but gotten a lot more committed than you've been before?
Yeah, like my daughter requires me to be a very grown up person. Like I have to be a super grown up. I have to take things at my stride, but I can't take my own time. I need to go and get things done and be in uncomfortable positions.
Sure.
Be in somewhat compromising positions in order to get certain things done. Be on deadline. Get it done. Because without those things that I went without in my life for a very long time, you can't provide. You can't. There's a vision of yourself that you want to, live through for your dependents and stuff. And if you're not willing to actually go at it the way that I am going at it at this point, you're not going to fulfill that vision, and then that's going to make you a very bitter person, and that's going to make me a bitter father, and I don't want to be a bitter father because that's not good. So.
Two operative words from things you've just said that I've underlined. One was desperate for success.
Yeah, super.
Second one was things that I haven't had in my life.
Yeah.
Let's fuse those and give us a perspective of your childhood.
Oh yeah, no, I had definitely a humble childhood.
Okay.
I was the third child of 4 children. A single parent household. My mom worked. Great government job, teacher.
Okay.
Very limiting financially. And this it was my family members, and it was my cousins. It was, at some point my uncles. Like a lot of people lived with us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you things that I've never told anyone. I only recently, 2 years ago, a year ago, a year and a half, I moved out of my mom's house for the first time. I'm 31 this year in age.
All right.
So I moved out of my mom's house, and I bought myself my first bed. Before then, I didn't have a bed. I slept on the floor.
Before you moved
house.
out,
yeah.
Which was recent.
Yes. Do you know when you have a big song, it's a blessing and a curse?
Sure.
Because you're thinking, I'm vetted now, like I'm good for
I've paid my dues,
another 15 songs or whatever, or 10 songs. But really what it means is that no, you captured a moment, you created a moment that people appreciated.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean they'll always appreciate those moments that you create.
Sure.
And that came at a lot of people that I interacted with in the music, they always said to me, you're lucky you have this moment, write it out. But they don't tell you that, when it's over, chances are it's over. Because immediately after it's done, you have to invest in another moment, and that is not guaranteed. It's like Galela Pant. It's a gamble.
Yeah.
It literally is. It's not of course there's a science to it to some degree. This is how you make a nice song. You don't alienate certain people by voicing yourself like this. You talk like this. You become politically correct if you need to.
Yeah.
You're always talking to women. There's like pointers that songwriters will employ to create what is perceived as a great song or a good song.
Yeah.
But those things don't always land with the audience. The audience is constantly on their own vibe, and you never know what gets them going, what gets them to support you, to buy your music, to support it constantly. And I thought careers like Michael Jackson's career, Brenda Fassie's career, most people's careers, they tell you of the highs. Go on TV, go on radio, talk about the highs, but they never tell you about the immediate lows that follow immediately after the success. You might have a big ass album one time, next 2 years later or a year later, without other big songs, you're like in debt. Because whilst you were getting, let's say for example, 10,000 every 2 weeks, you start living like you get 10,000 every 2 weeks. So you buy a phone, you buy
AirPods.
AirPods.
You're just telling me that you have your own pair.
Right, me and you are
same WhatsApp group.
Yeah, dude, same WhatsApp. You know what I mean? You buy these things and you're thinking, no, I'm fine. And then you sustain this life for like maybe you start making money and it stops in 6 months. But guess what? You made enough to continue for maybe another year. But during that year, you're not getting booked. You're not being called anyway. Yes, you're still sustaining, but no money's coming in. And these things, take some of your money, take
Yeah.
some of your money. So eventually,
A lot of your money.
exactly. Eventually, when you sing there after a year, you know, you don't have enough money to rub together, 2 pennies to rub together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're back on square one again.
Look, we've hit on a lot of things that I'd like to still come back to, but in that childhood, in your mother's house, a lot younger than when you were in 2017, let's say 10 years ago, what were some of the soundtracks that couple the memories? And by that I mean the music that it just stuck, and music that went as far as influencing your creative process as a musician.
No, there's a lot. The only ones I'll mention are related to his PTP. Soul Brothers, number one.
All right.
Soul Brothers, I don't know why my mom loves Soul Brothers, but there was a song that she always played. She's a single parent. The song that goes, you know, and I think she was just patting herself in the back.
Yeah.
Being a single parent, being able to support us all and doing a good job for most part of my life. Another one that I couldn't avoid, even if they didn't play it endlini directly, was Brenda Fassie's Vulindlela album.
Yeah.
Which heavily inspired his PTP to the actual song. And Soul Brothers that I mentioned before would inspired like Sebenzela Nina, that aesthetic sound, and Sebenzela Nina and what's the other one, Mawabo Mthandazo. You know, those songs were inspired by the whole Soul Brothers, organs, goch organs, and just beautiful sounds from Soul Brothers. So yeah, those sounds were prevalent in my youth. Couldn't avoid them.
Aksana gospel nyana there, Rebecca.
Tell you
know, with
something,
mothers
man.
and
My mom, she liked gospel, but she liked like amakwaya.
Okay.
Because she has a background in choral music. And
Okay.
I think she got a scholarship at some point when she was growing up to actually study in tertiary via choir.
Okay.
So that's why I think it has a soft spot in her heart.
It's interesting that in Omama Bomtandazo there's that choir where Baba.
Oh yeah, I tried. I mean, we tried to make a choir, but yeah, we tried, but I don't know if we actually got it. But I know what the result we got was good enough.
I think
it was amazing.
I think you
yeah?
did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You often find that people who are involved in the process will be too critical with the end results than the ones on the receiving end. Your Michael Jacksons, they will ride on a wave of creativity too. So they won't work and say, okay, now I have 15 tracks for this album, I'm done. They will go as far as they can and save it for the future. Do you work on that as well?
Yeah.
Do you advise that?
Yeah.
Especially since creativity can come and go.
Yeah, you have to, when you're on a wave, ride the wave, you know, creative wave. If you feel like you're making these songs and they're very similar in design and in style, do it. Not all the songs that are recorded, not DJ Maporisa made it to the album. There's probably like 15 more songs that didn't make it. I had a lot of songs. I had enough songs for like at least 2 albums.
So there's a possibility that they'll come back in future albums.
Yeah, but not in their form. What I normally do sometimes when I have a lot of materials, that I start like, if I'm doing a feature with you, I start singing that line or those songs in your song, and then I'll if I need to remake a particular, if I have an opportunity to do another project, I'll remake the song. I'll never really carry out a specific style throughout, because my writing throughout like my whole life, like my writing is very, it's timeless. My ability to write a song, like my formula is a timeless formula. It'll always be used in a pop-ish type of, it's a pop type of approach to music writing. So that means as long as there's commercial music, radio friendly music, my formula works. So I'll write songs like that, but the melody that I follow it'll change with whatever is popular at the time. Yeah, so when I was writing a cappella music for The Soil, I used the same formula, but now I'm using that same formula for electronic music, then for jazz, But yeah, it's the same type of writing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to come to the music industry and how it is demanding for an artist to not be one-dimensional. So I'm seeing you now. You've struck me as an introvert and a guy who does things his own way. I'm seeing now your image is changing. You're doing a fade. You're doing snaps now. You're posting a whole lot more. Could that be something that you've also now adapted to be a lot more relevant and sustaining for your brand, other than just in the appeal of your music?
Nah, man, I just feel like it's like this phone.
Mm-hmm.
When I bought this phone, it was bare, without a cover,
Sure.
without a screen protector. I then bought a screen protector and a cover. The cover was white and military white,
Mm-hmm.
and black and all mashed up, and it was thick. And personally, it was just annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't like this phone because I had this giant ass cover, but the phone worked perfectly, efficient, whatever, all those things. Now, I got tired of the cover, and I got this one, which is thinner,
Yeah.
see-through, so I can see the design.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought another screen protector because the other one cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And when I pull it out now to friends, they're like, "Oh, you bought a new phone." I'm like, "No, it's not a new phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're seeing it now."
Mm.
So I feel that's what's happening to me.
Okay. Is it a holistic approach about your life?
I think what this PTPT represents is like a beginning of something else and an end to something else. Now, an end to the introvert, I didn't care about a lot of things. Aesthetics,
Mhm.
how I looked, it was fine. As long as I looked nice, I bought new clothes, fine.
Yeah.
I didn't actually even care about new clothes that much. It's just, I liked wearing the same clothing that the fit.
Yeah.
I was into a fit more than
What it puts
an
out
aesthetic.
there. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now, what this PTPT represents for me is, okay, it's a closing of also a chapter where I was albumless, only a feature artist, never really standing on my own per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
Known for the soil in the past, and then the feature with Sanel. So it's like, even though officially behind, really officially, it's not a feature. Me and him are collaborators. Like, I'm not a feature on that thing. Like, I wrote the melody to that thing.
Yeah.
I wrote the song on my own footy. So it's not a feature. He built the instrument based on the melody that I gave him.
Yeah.
So it's actually a collab per se. But it
Has
was
been defined.
Yeah, it was written feature 'cause,
Yeah.
at the time when they released it, I don't know who advised them, but that's what they decided to call it. But officially, I own half of the master. I own half of everything in that song.
Okay.
So yeah, it's an end to that period and a beginning of I have an album now.
Yeah.
So at least now I'm certified I've joined the album club, and now people take me seriously because it's not Sanel's name or
Featuring.
who else did I do a feature with? Sanel or La Coffee or
Moby
Dixon's name first and then mine as a feature.
Yeah.
It's actually my name first and then so that's the start. Like, I've never had that before in
Yeah.
my whole entire career. And then I have these things to look at now. Like, I didn't think I had the hair nor the shape of the head to do a fade, dude.
It looks good, by the way.
Thank you.
I must say, it looks good.
Thank you so much.
Did you just visit your barber?
No, dude, I didn't have a barber. I used to cut my own hair.
Okay. Wow.
I used to cut my whole life. I cut my own hair. Got to a point where I majority of my life anyway, not my whole life. Like, when I was a teenager, I used to spend like 5 rand every week paying someone to cut my hair. Brush. I was like, no, this doesn't make sense. I can pop out 400 rand, buy a machine, and cut my own hair, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
So now, working with management, I've always worked with different types of management, but these guys, this time they're like, yo dude, let's get you on, let's get you a fade, let's see. And the whole time I was like sitting in that chair, and I was coaching the guy like, yo, I don't have this hair, the type of head for that, please don't make me look like I'm crazy, blah blah. And he did his job, dude. And when I was looking at myself, I was like smiling inside. I was like, yo, this is really dope, because like now I look like a normal person, like I look like everyone else, which to some degree for me is not a bad thing, because I spent so long not looking like anyone else, not doing what anyone else did. And I think more than anything else, what it does say about myself, what I know for sure, is that I take my time, and I only pursue things that other people pursue when I'm ready. So that's the one thing that I think we can say about me as a constant. I never follow the crowd just for the sake of following the crowd. I think there is an importance to follow, but never at my expense or the expense of things that I care about. I only do so when I'm ready, and I'm willing to let people pass me and withstand or whatever type of
marginalization.
People marginalizing me, criticizing my moves. I'm okay with all of that stuff as long as I'm able to do what I need to do when I need to do it for what I need.
And that's the concept of Picasso painting on that canvas, right? That he believes that's his signature and he's going to stick to it and not compromise. Speaking of art.
Oh yeah, but I do believe in compromise though.
Sure.
But
calculated compromise.
Yes, 100%. Like it needs to make sense.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense, I don't partake in it. Yeah, like it has to make sense. And if it doesn't make sense for me, the thing that I learned, this is the big thing that I learned.
Sure.
If it doesn't make sense for me, I don't partake in it. But I've learned to trust other people who might understand it better than me at the time, who would advise me to do it, even though it doesn't make sense to me. If it makes sense to them, I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Okay. Is your mind able to comprehend the capacity of how big you actually are? Even in times, maybe even before you release, in 2018 when things are not going well, were you able to conceptualize that?
Dude, like, as long as I'm still able to walk around and stand in a queue.
Yeah.
And yes, a few people say, hey, that is that, and they let me be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm big enough, because I know people, Mina, that I have direct contact with who can't do that. Who are in the music.
I was told when you came in here in the morning, it was chaos in this building, especially in the second floor.
People here showed me love, but you talking about the staff, ne?
Yes.
Yeah, like staff in general showed me love for sure. I think they approached me with respect based on my music
and also what you give out.
Really?
Yeah, there's an aura about it. You just immediately catch it. Sometimes,
really?
Sometimes people get it wrong. We are when you're actually having a bad day or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, you put it out there and people can sense it. We're spiritual beings. At least that's what I believe.
Sure.
And we sense it in that way.
Yeah. I don't do it all the time, but I do it sometimes. Want to be dependent. So we want to be dependent on. Like, not Dolly is the one I'm willing to speak about publicly. Dude, that was all me, dude, not my mom. I'm gonna tell you things that I've never told anyone.